To God be the glory. As Maya danced, I heard all the words and I was just asking God, what do you do for the person that's in the process of preparing their foundation? What do you do for the person that's going through the fiery trials and they understand that they've changed, they've grown some? And God gave me this word, and I thank Prophet Henry, and he actually texted this morning. And when I read it and I found out I had to speak, God said, that's it. And it's 1 Peter 5, 6, and 7. And it says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him. Why? For he careth for you. And the caption says, God can do more with your surrender than you can do with your control. And I read that and I thought that was pretty deep. And God gave me the topic, surrender to succeed. Surrender to succeed. And as I begin to ponder that, surrender means to give up, to relinquish your way, to become a prisoner of. Succeed means to meet a desired end, to make happen basically what you cannot do yourself. And I said, God, what does that really mean? He says, you got to understand that in order to feel like going on, you have to be able to take something. And see, the thing, and it doesn't make natural sense to surrender in a place of war. But I can't take out the fact that he says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God. When you're under the hand of God, God says it can be one of two things. He says it can be a blessing or a barrier. He said it all depends on how you use the hand. If you don't surrender, it becomes a barrier. Because there's certain places God is not going to let you in. There's certain places he's not going to turn around for you. There's certain things you're just not going to get because you're ultimately going to cause more damage than good. But he says when you surrender, you put the ball in my court. But the power of surrenderance is God says you have to do what I tell you to do. The evidence of surrenderance is that you don't mix anything in your foundation. You understand the very truth of this word is all you have in order to be successful. So when pride stands up, you know the truth. Now is not the time to get in your feelings. When the anger stands up because you may be right, that's when you surrender. You give up because you understand that God is trying to do something that you cannot do yourself. And then as Maya was dancing the song says, I feel like going on. Feeling is not a spiritual thing. Feeling is not a spiritual, and I love that song. That is my song. When I need a good cry, I need a good breakdown, I need a little strength, I will play that. But God was just ministering to me. He said, understand that feeling is not a spiritual thing. But he says what happens is your spirit begins to minister to your emotions. And at one point when you didn't feel like walking, your feet and legs begin to strengthen. Because of the fact that you understand that you're under the hand of a mighty God. And so now he can block those fiery trials. You got to go through them. But why do you have to go through them? To test your foundation. Why? Because he's going to build others on top of you. He wants to build up, not things, but he wants to build others on top of your sureness. The only reason Pastor Martina can get up here and bless God for her daughter is because she's a sure foundation. Her daughter was able to watch her. She saw the mixture in it, but she saw her mama shake the mixture too. Her mama had no problem telling her what was in her foundation. But she watched her mama fix it. And so God says, for your faithfulness, I can build a legacy that's going to produce after its own kind. I need you to understand that God is trying to do something that's bigger than stuff, y'all. But if we don't surrender to see what it is that God wants to do, many people like to give up. But God is saying, don't give up on the situation. Give up on your way. Don't give up on the situation. Don't quit the situation. Give up on how you're trying to handle it. That's where he's taking us. I said, God, all the disappointments and everything that I went through, he said, yes, I was trying to break you. Because as the prophet said, God is thinking about the long game. Prophet says, understand my job forced my hand. But even then, he could have still refused to take the vaccine. But because his spirit was strong, he said, God, protect me in this unknown surrender. What did he do? He surrendered to what he did not know. He surrendered to what he didn't even believe in. He didn't surrender to the situation. He surrendered to God. And because he did, look at him now. He was able to go through it, and God was able to keep him, not because he's Prophet Henry, but because he was obedient. That's what surrenderance is. It says, I don't know how to navigate through this world, God. I don't know how to deal with the people that you have put in my life. But I can't deny the reality that you have put them there. God will give you enough to commit, but you might not have enough to finish. Why does he do that? It creates a dependency. That if you try to do it without him, you say, well, how do I know if I'm in the right vein? Understand, no matter what decision you make, you'll have peace if it's God. We always look for that yes, and then we're feeling peaceful after that yes. But sometimes God will tell you no, even though you didn't want it, but you still can't deny the peace that you feel. Now you got a choice to make. Am I going to make myself successful, or am I going to wait until the due time? Because the due time ain't about you. It's about God. There's somebody that God wants to see you in your glory state. They already know your despised state. They know your devastated state. They know that. They be talking about it. But in the efforts to deliver somebody who won't come to God themselves, he's going to use the foundation that he's already provided. And they've endured. And not only have they endured, they become victorious through the fiery trials. And God says, I can trust them. If you can't get through your own trials, how are you going to help somebody get through theirs? And make no doubt about it, this world is filled with trials until the day that we die. Understand that that's the benefit of going to heaven. There ain't no more trials. Either you've triumphed at that point or you failed. But that ain't nothing to gamble with. That ain't nothing to take a chance on. This is your chance to surrender right here to say, God, I know I ain't doing everything right. And I really don't even know what to do next. But I trust you enough to commit to you. And that's the power of prayer. That's the power of prayer. God, and as we transition and God has taken us to this next level, me and Cindrea, preferably if all goes according to plan like we believe that it will, we will be adopting Sunshine on tomorrow. And the kicker is, I need you to understand, she gave a powerful testimony about everything that she went through. I will let her tell that. But just to watch her endure in a very unstable place, in the midst of a desire that God promised her, but remain faithful to the king. I need you to understand that even as her husband, to know the reality and watch her go through that and see her shout on the fact that God did what he said he was going to do, but not the way that we thought. To see her still bless him rather than be resentful that he didn't do it the way that we prayed. That's why we need the intercessory of Jesus. Because while we was praying one thing, Jesus was praying another. Why? Because the long game, there's something that young lady got to do that only we got to give her. I can say that confidently because if we didn't, God would have never gave it to us. We didn't go looking for her. But God thought enough of two little country old people from Man County to send us a Texas blessing. And he said, all you got to do is love her. Can I help somebody? Ever since we had her since July, I can count the number of things that we had to do for her because she's been blessed since the day she hit this soul. God says it ain't over, but what I'm trying to get you to do is not give up on the situation. Understand, it wasn't easy because there was a lot of places that we didn't know, and we never did this before. We didn't navigate it. We had to trust people to do things we couldn't do ourselves. We had to trust people to do things that we couldn't do ourselves. And we had to go along with it just to see if it was going to get us to a successful place. Don't give up on your situation. It's in your surrenderance. It don't make natural sense. Your body going to tell you, don't you give up. Don't surrender to God. I ain't talking about throwing up your hands. I ain't talking about falling on your face. No, I'm talking about living according to God's way. Some things we know is a no. But we'll talk ourselves into a yes. And then we want to pray about it when it never had to be, you never had to experience that consequence. But the fact is, now you got to endure because you created your own fiery trial. Now you holding back because now you still got to do what God said if you're going to be successful, but now you got to complete that first. That's that 40-year circle. You knew you had rights to the promised land. But because you wouldn't surrender to the one that God put in front, that you knew was the voice piece because he had already done everything he said he was going to do, he did it in the name of God. But because you would not surrender, you forfeited what you were promised. You forfeited what you were promised. That ain't a God. God didn't do that. But how did I do that, preacher? You didn't surrender. It ain't stand still and know. Yeah, when you stand still and know, that's the trust. You're standing under the mighty hand of God. You're using it as a blessing to say, well, God, I trust you enough to hide behind you in this place that I don't understand. Now, when you hide behind him, you got to move when he moves. You got to stop when he stops. You got to be quiet when he... You can't navigate it yourself. Surrender to succeed. Just try it. Just try it. And just see if you feel like going on.